Gavin Lund, hello. Gavin Lund, hi, from Liverpool. Best bar one, unfortunately, Phnom Penh, in your opinion. Oh, so many, but I haven't been there for a couple of years now. I'm really missing the place. Really missing the place, but let me see now. Oscar's Bar's good. Oscar's Bar's brilliant because they've got a live band there and it's bloody good fun. But like, Oscar's Bar's good, but there's so many good bars there. But let's see how it is now. Pip is here. Pip, the answer to your question is yes. Let's see you win the Euro Millions first. Good luck to you, mate, anyway. Jamie M, good evening. Elliot, Eddie, yeah, okay, good evening. Paul Jones, good evening. Portia Carrera, wow, that's a bloody good name. Are you male or female? That's a good name anyway, cool. But I once told the ladies that my name is Ferrari Testicles. Yeah, it didn't go down well with them. Okay, Alex Garnes, I've got a mate who's in Oscars now. He sent me a video earlier. Oscars is a bloody good bar, really, really good. Great atmosphere, fantastic live bands. Do some good songs. Lots of lovely ladies. Oh, geez, I wish I was there right now. I really wish it was there right now. Moto Kenny, Eddie's watching the cup. It's one of those Stella nights. Okay, I don't drink too much of Stella anymore because it's not as strong as it used to be. Stella it just ain't Stella anymore. But never mind. Anthony Cavalier from Queens, New York City. Great to hear from you. Ivor Chopper, yeah, so have I. Let's see. Pal 555, I steady, Paul as well. Well, I'm keeping drinking and I'm keeping drinking and keeping my chin up, as they say. Derek Mack, good evening, Eddie from North right now, because as far as I heard, Cambodia, they've $2,000 US deposit. You'd have to put up, and that's one thing. They've got a 2-week quarantine, haven't they? The same as other places. Excuse me, the same as Thailand has. Only they're not charging you $2,000. It's I don't know. It's we'll talk in a moment about what's happening right now in those places. But it'd be good to hear from anyone who's in Phnom Penh. Coon Mike. Yeah, thank you for that super chat, Cool Mike. Really, I hope you're having a lovely evening. Great to hear from you. God, got them all there. Good evening, Eddie, from Elfers in Florida. Some really, really great location. We've got Cambodia, Florida. All kinds of lovely places. I'd rather be any of those places there rather than here right now. England's a miserable place to be right now. It's bloody miserable. I mean, it's raining today. It's February. February apparently is the most depressing month in the UK anyway. But I'm not. It's particularly depressing for me because I'm not usually here in February, so I'm having to suffer the slings and arrows of everything that's going on right now. Spo, howdy from Walmart shopping in Florida. Okay, how's the lasagnas there? Do you get buy one get one free? Okay, let's see. Bill, it's all over. Let's all give up. Okay, thank you and good night, everybody. Okay, nice to have an optimist on the show. Dicko 68, what key can open any door, Ed? I'm sure you're going to tell me. Alex Garland, I gave Sray the bar, call it bloody good Roger as well, from Oscars Phnom Penh, brilliant. Fond memories of Oscars, very, very, very fond memories of Oscars. Love to return there. Andrew Hammond, Pattaya in November, I think will be a certainty now. I don't think there is such a thing as a certainty anymore. I mean, I think the phrase of the day is, I'll believe it when I see it. I've heard of a few people going on recently about Phuket, going to be the first to, announce that as long as you've had the vaccine, you won't have to do the 2-week quarantine. We've heard all of this before. We've heard stuff before. We've heard exciting things coming out of Phuket. New ideas that you can go there for a couple, providing you're quarantine, you're free to roam around the island. It all, there was no takers on it. It all turned out to be a bit of a damp squib, so whatever's going to happen, I'll believe it when I see it. Pal 555, Blackpool then, Eddie. Blackpool, great place to visit, terrible place to live. I've done both. Never again. David Humphreys, he seems like 100 years ago. We talked over breakfast in Irobe. I think I do remember. I think I do remember you, David. It does seem like a long, long time ago. Do you know something? By the end of next month, March, which is about 6 weeks away, it will be a whole year since I returned. Back to UK, and the year has gone over quickly. And I've just worked and slept and look forward to a better time and hope that this nightmare is going to be over. But it's almost a year's past now, and things don't look to be getting better. Well, if they are, they're getting better very, very slowly. Andrew McIver, even if we want to go abroad, the UK is banned from most countries. Depressing. Right, no, the thing is, the UK and the USA, we are quite extreme examples. Now, one of the things that I wanted to mention is that there's this, little talk going around. It's not confirmed yet. I think it comes from the Thailand Tourism Authority, the TAT, or whatever the hell they're called. But the talk is, not only are they not going to abolish the 2-week lockdown, they're actually going to increase it to 21 days. That is terrible, terrible bad news. That's the last thing that anybody needs. But I think they're talking about for high risk, not for all countries, but for high risk countries like Africa. Certain African countries where there is this new strain of it. But the fact is that the UK is still technically quite a high risk country. It's a higher risk than most others. So, they're just talking about it right now, but it will be dreadful, dreadful news. Club Fillers Inc. I have a chopper, but you've got a big chopper, have you? You've got a big chopper here, Club Fillers. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Okay, there's sort of time we were letting tourists back in October or something, providing we can all prove that we've had 2 shots of the vaccine. The thing about what I don't like about this vaccine, the way it's developed, is that I thought originally it was like 3 weeks apart. You have 1 shot and then 3 weeks later you have another. It's 12 weeks now. That's very, very disruptive. If I was to say, have the vaccine, March, whatever, or the end of March, and then, plan to go abroad about a month later, I couldn't really, because I'd have to wait for the, another 3 months, basically, for the second installment of this vaccine. 12 weeks apart. Where the hell did that come from? It's dreadful news. I'm hearing mixed reviews about the vaccine. Some people say it's essential. Some people are kind of getting used to the fact, have resigned themselves to the fact that they will have to have it. I think if you want a life, if you really want to travel, I think you will have to have it. But it's nothing new to have a, to have a jab. Essential in order to be allowed into another country, because for years we've had things like the yellow fever jabs. They are essential if you want to travel to some Latin American countries. I had to have it, and you have to have the certificate. So that is nothing new. But the idea that you get it and then it's 12 weeks apart, that's too long, really. If I had that jab, I want to be on a plane pretty soon afterwards. To have to hang around 12 weeks for the second instalment of it is a bit awful. But the other thing I'm not so keen about it is that more and more people are saying now that this is a very, very recently developed vaccine. And I'm not running it down or say, this can discourage or anything like that, but it's a very, very recently developed vaccine, whereas a lot of the other ones, the more famous ones, that they've taken years, decades even to develop. So, I can't say I'm enthusiastic, but I think you've... whatever will be, will be. Andrew McIver, Cambodia have cancelled tourist visas. No chance of getting in. No, that's exactly what I heard. I think a couple of people who are in Phnom Penh right now just messaged me, and it's great to hear from them, especially when you mention Oscar's bars. When Jesus, Oscar's, that brings back such a flood of beautiful memories for me. It's wonderful memories. But they're memories, you know what I mean? I wish it was there now, but that's what I've heard, Andrew. I've heard that Cambodia have cancelled tourist visas. And what else, other than Thailand and Cambodia, what other countries? Well, the wonderful Vietnam. I've spent quite a lot of time in Vietnam last winter time, and it's a marvellous country. I would spend a lot of time in Vietnam. Absolutely great country. I would rate it very, very highly. I'd quite willingly spend months and months in Vietnam. but very little is being heard about them. I did hear that Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, has had another lockdown. I don't know if they're still in it, but Vietnam, little is being heard of Vietnam. As far as I know, they're not letting tourists in. They're not letting us in, really. And I don't think they've suggested any time that we will be allowed back. Windy Miller, morning, Eddie, it's 5 a.m. in Vietnam. Yeah, okay, well, good for you, mate. I'm sure it's warmer there than it is here. Fast Eddie. Hi to the Queen. Oh, yeah, I'll say hello to the... Oh, yeah, he's from Buffalo on the Canadian border. He's saying hi to the Queen. I'll say hi to Queen Elizabeth. Her husband's not doing very well right now. But he's 99 years old. I'm not gonna, say anything wrong about the man. You know what I mean? But he's 99 years old. Gareth Martin, hi Eddie, are you my dad? Not that I know of. It's possible. Where was your mum? Where did your mum live? What part of the UK or what part of the world? You never know. It's possible. Okay. Seattle, USA. Seattle, USA. Now, there's. I always associate a place like Seattle with some of the detective fiction that I read when I was young. The private detective stuff in rainy Seattle. I always associate it with that sort of stuff. I'm sure it's bloody great. I'm sure it's a great place to visit. Dixie Normas, okay, just got a 20 stone, Eddie. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're physically well endowed for one anyway. I'm sure you are. Portia Cadet, warm in Liverpool today. Warm in Liverpool. Well, I live in the south of England. It was warm, but it was wet, and I don't like rain. I hate rain. It's bloody depressing me. Okay, so what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about tonight about who's got plans for 2021. I mean, it's still very, very early in the year. Like I said before, it's almost a year since I arrived back in this country, and it's flown over this year. But I've put money away because I've been working all the time. But I really, I'm a little bit depressed because at my age, I don't want to spend a whole year, without fulfilling my life, traveling and doing something that year. I certainly do not want to, I think when you get to my age, you have to treat every year as if it's your last one alive or your last one of good health. And the way that I bloody drink and eat, it probably will be. But, it's good to have a roof over my head and money in my pocket and beer and food and on the table and this kind of stuff. But I need a life. I want to get traveling again. I'm desperate to get traveling again. And it's not good. The news right now is not good. It's... I think for people who go travelling in the British UK summer months, then that's not very far away, really. The actual start of the season for places like Spain and Greece, they start the beginning of May, which is only about 2.5 months away. So that's not far away. And let me just tell you that my plans right now is that I'd like to travel through Europe from the beginning of May, because I do love a bit of Mediterranean. Beautiful sunshine. They get the kind of summers over those countries that we simply can't get here. Greece is a wonderful place. I'd love to travel around some of those Greek islands. Even Turkey. I know Turkey quite well. Fantastic climate and really, really nice culture. So I'm hoping come the beginning of May to really get out to those countries and do a bit of traveling and just feel like I'm alive again. You know what I mean? After all this crap that's been going on. But as far as I know, those countries are a no-go at this moment in time. It's just, you just got to wait and see what happens. Protector of Soi 6. Well, good luck to you, mate. That's all I can say. Good luck to you. Tree Town, are those 20 stone women starting to look attractive to you? No, not for me. Definitely not for me. Okay. Gareth Martin, is that the second time you've asked me that? Geez, before I know it, this guy's going to be sending me a paternity. Okay. Yeah, okay. Hi Eddie. Hi Eddie. What street in Phnom Penh is Oscars? Oscars is right at the end of 104 Street, which is there's two main, girly bar streets in Phnom Penh. There's more than that. There are more than that in that riverside area. But the two main ones are 136 and there's a lot more to it. It's bigger and there's a lot more bars and a lot more to it. 104, there's less to it. It's a smaller little road. I used to think of them as like the Beatles and the Stones of the girly bar streets. 136, there's more to it. So like the Rolling Stones, it's gone on for a lot longer time. But I actually prefer the Beatles. I think 104 is the Beatles of the Phnom Penh girly bar streets. And I've had me fun there over the years, and I really, really miss this place. I met some lovely, lovely ladies there over the years. Really do miss it. Let's just hope that the good times will return again pretty soon. But they're not. Yeah, I just heard from someone there that Cambodia's closed. Yeah, that's what I read as well. I heard that they're not issuing tourist visas right now, so it's just a no go for us. YouTube killed the radio star. We won't be going anywhere abroad this year, Eddie. Okay, well, I don't know. Let's see. Let's give it a chance. Let's keep thinking positive. I'd be pretty miserable if I really, really, really believed that. Liam WT, would you rather spend a Wednesday night on Soi 6 or on YouTube in the miserable UK with us? I'd rather spend a Wednesday night in Soi 6 personally. Soi 6 is good. I like some of those live streams that those lovely ladies. In a way, I pity them in a way, because the thing, I pity everyone. I pity us. I pity all the people in Thailand right now who are surviving. I heard that some of those unemployed in places like Phuket, the ones who are used to earning a living from tourism, some of those people are having to survive on a couple of dollars a day. That is dreadful. That's absolutely dreadful. There's a lot of people suffering right now. But yeah, I'd love to be in Soi 6 right now. It took me a long time to catch on to Soi 6. I mean, I think about Soi 6. I've never really been there much of a nighttime. I always tend to think of it as how can I put it? Shall we call it? Oh, what can we call Soi 6? How about love in the afternoon? Is that a good phrase? Is that a good phrase to describe Soi 6? Love in the afternoon? Yeah, I kind of like Soi 6. It took me a long time to catch on to it. And what I did notice about having love in the afternoon in Soi 6 is that when you first meet those girls, they're not quite the same as those wonderful, wonderful massage girls that I've gotten used to. Some of those massage girls in some of my favourite little streets around Pattaya, those girls they are just so full of fun. They've got so much personality. And once they get to know you, you can have a laugh and a joke with them. You can have you go upstairs and have a dirty massage and all the rest of it. And they're great. If you treat them right, then the next time they see you, they'll want you to come in again. And they're such a good laugh, those massage girls. But what I found with Soi 6, I walked up and down that street for many, many times, but I never actually really, indulged in it. But when I finally did indulge in Soi 6, love in the afternoon, that's a good phrase, isn't it? There's some beautiful girls there, but what I tended to find about those Soi 6 girls, they are different in attitudes to those massage girls that I've gotten used to. The Soi 6 girls at first tended to be a bit colder and more austere. Coming here for a drink, buying me a drink and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, fine. But they're not as instant. I felt a little bit of a coldness from some of those girls to begin with. Not like my lovely massage girls that I got to know quite well. But once you get to know those girls in Soi 6, they are great. They do sort of. I think those girls tend to be more cynical there. They have a bit more of a mistrust of people, maybe because they've had some. Let's be honest. There are some knobheads who go into those places and act the goat and don't treat those girls right. Okay. Pal 555 only so we see get your soy sauce. Soy sauce, nice, like it. Okay, let's get on with this. Now, let me say about this, Michael Boggs, thank you. Protectors of Soi 6 are the best times of my life on Soi 6. Just let me tell you a little story about Soi 6. From quite about a year ago when I was there. I realised how, you can live a dream that other men would just give anything to be there and have that. But how food, having a meal, your daily meal, can really, really ruin your day, absolutely ruin your day. And I'll give you an example. I was having a mooch around Soi 6 about a year ago. And I walked up and down the street, you know, on the prowl, all those lovely ladies outside, waiting to find the right one. And I eventually found the right. Now, my plan was I had a good walk, 'cause I walk for miles and miles around Pattaya Beach and do whatever I've got to do. Then a couple of cold bays in the hot afternoon. And then finally made my way to Soi 6. And I went up and down it and finally found this beautiful girl. Well, she found me anyway. And we went into this bar. Now, I don't know, I can't remember which bar it was. I've got an idea, but I can't really remember it. But I went into this bar in Soi 6, and I thought, oh my God, she's beautiful, oh, absolutely gorgeous. And she was absolutely fantastic. And anyway, you know, we we got it on, and we had fun in the bar for a brief while, and then we went upstairs and we had love in the afternoon. We had the most wonderful, delicious love in the afternoon. Absolutely magnificent. Now, I thought to myself, you know, God, what man across the world wouldn't want to be having love in the afternoon with this beautiful, beautiful girl? Anyone would give anything for that. And anyway, I eventually, when the love in the afternoon was over, I left there and I thought, absolutely magnificent. It was about 4 o'clock, 4 in the afternoon by then. I thought, fantastic. What a dream. What a wonderful dream to be able to do something like that at my age, okay? And then I crossed the road and I thought, right, I've had a beautiful lady, and now I'm going to follow it with a beautiful, scrumptious meal, my afternoon meal, okay? And I went into this pub, a well-known pub on Soi 6, for a big roast dinner, yes. And I sat there looking at the soy ladies out the street, eating this meal. And the meal was absolute bloody crap. It was rubbish. I'd been in this place before. I'm not going to name it, but I'd been in this bloody place before. And it used to be good. But I had such I had a large meal. And afterwards I thought, what the hell did I eat that for? That just wasn't cooked right. And then after that, you know, I paid my bill and I walked back to my hotel in Soi Buakhao area, and it was miserable. And I was because you eat a duff meal that you look forward to all bloody day. If that turns out to be crap, it can absolutely ruin your whole day. You can do anything that day, any wonderful things that day, but if you've had a crap meal, it puts you on a downer. I remember thinking to myself, Jesus, in the last couple of hours, I have had love in the afternoon with a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lady that so many guys across the world would give anything to be able to do. And then I followed it up with a meal, and now I feel like rubbish. I feel in a bad mood. How can I feel in a bad mood when I've had that great experience? That's what a bad meal can do for you. It can bloody take you from an absolute high to put you on a low. I'm not going to mention it, but I'm never ever going to eat in that place again. Let's see. Okay. So anyway, where we go? Let's see. So anyone, I've waffled on. Let me tell Thailand bounds here. Soi 94 Hua Hin. Lots of new bars being built and rented out as of February. Hi, Peter from Thailand bound. Yeah. I've only been to Hua Hin once, but it was bloody good. I really like Hua Hin. I'd love to go there again. Check out Thailand Bound, by the way. He's got a YouTube channel, which is very, very good. And he started doing some live streams as well, which is going to be fun. Okay, now let me see. YouTube, how many notches do you have on your bedpost, Eddie? I never counted. Soi 6 is a Russian space mission. Okay. Simon Inside. Okay, let's talk about my Facebook friend, and he comes on here as well, Andrew Johnson. Now, I'm not going to say too much about him, because that's his business. It'd be rude, you know, if he's not here right now. How's Andy Johnson getting on? Is he out of? But I believe he is out of ASQ right now. I think he's probably unleashed on the streets of Pattaya right now. Good for him, man. Good for him. I'm envious. I'm going to be envious. He's I'm going to be envious when I hear some reports. It'd be interesting to see how he's getting on, because he was a bit disappointed last year because obviously the lockdown came in. He had his travel plans cancelled, but now he's been brave enough to go through the ASQ. He's unleashed on the streets of Pattaya. He probably won't be on this stream tonight because he's probably doing better things. But good for him anyway. Good for him. Let's see. Okay, no free. Okay, now let me see what we're going to do with this live stream. I mean, this is right now. This is locked in the UK. It's still quite a while before we're going to open again. I don't care about UK opening again personally because I'm doing what I do here. I can go to work and then I can I can eat and put money away and hope for better times and all this kind of stuff. I don't really care about the UK, but what I do care about is getting out of the UK. So when when will I be able to travel out of the UK? You can't make plans in a year like this. Somebody's already said we got no chance of going abroad. That is extremely negative, but maybe he's right and maybe I'm wrong. You just got to keep thinking positive. But if everything's in the right direction, I'd like to be having a bit of Mediterranean sunshine for a few months, May, June, around about those months. Because I need to get traveling again. I need to break away from this, abysmal robotic, lifestyle here. But the fact is, there's still so many obstacles that stand in the way. There's that bloody 72-hour, 72-hour test, anti-virus test, which is you've got to have. You can book the flight, but then you've got to have that 72. I really don't fancy that. There's the vaccine, which seems to be the lesser of two evils, really. Except the only thing I don't like about the vaccine is the fact that this awful 12-week gap, very, very inconvenient for those of us who want to travel. And the fact is right now, there's no chance of going to an airport. So we're in lockdown UK here. Americans have got it a bit better because they can go to places like Mexico and Dominican and Colombia. And I know some of them are out there now and they're probably having a lot of fun. Colombia looks bloody good. There's, one of the guys who comes on this stream, is in Colombia right now, and he seems to be having a whale of a time. I'd be all for that, but we can't go to a place like that. Understand something about the red list countries. Right now, there is right now there is 33 countries on the red list. They're all either African or Latin American countries, with the exception of Portugal. And these are the ones where if anyone returns from those countries to the UK, you will have to quarantine in a 1,750 quid hotel around the Heathrow Airport area. So I don't think anyone really wants to do that. But as for people who are in Thailand right now, I don't think they'll have to actually stay in a quarantine hotel when they arrive back in the UK. But they will have to probably quarantine for 10 days or 2 weeks or whatever. The question is, we'll have people from Thailand, but will they want us? Britain remains a high-risk country at this moment in time. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do tonight, okay? Let me see. Michael Boggs, yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, whatever, absolutely. Steve Gamble, yeah, just walk across the street and cheer yourself up again. Oh, Jesus Christ. How can you have a beautiful, beautiful, wonderful experience with a lovely lady half your age? You know what I mean? And then and then have a crap meal and be miserable. You should be, the experience of having love in the afternoon should overlook all of that. But oh well, that's what a bad meal. Just make sure that you have a bloody good meal that satisfies you. Okay. You two killed the radio star. Eddie, how much is it for a leg of lamb in Thailand? I don't know, really. I don't eat lamb personally. I like chicken or beef. Okay, Paul asking, I love a foot-long subway in Thailand, yeah. I suppose your 33 stone Thai mistress loves it as well. Okay. Let's see. The eyes of own, soy 6 or soy honey. I'm far more used to soy honey, and I love soy. I absolutely love. I used to love that soy chai food, but it's not quite the same anymore. But it's soy honey, absolutely. Those girls, oh my God, they are so full of fun. They put a smile on your face even before you go in. You know what I mean? They're terrific. They are. I love them. Soy 6, I'm not quite used to it, but it's a great place. Geez, I'd have either of them right now. Let's see. Okay. Eddie, are you a salesman? Okay. Now, what we're going to do with this last scene, because we're all miserable, and it's not a great deal. Is we can either be depressed there, or just be depressed. There's not really any significant developments in the travel industry right now. So what I'm going to be doing here right now is basically just talking a little bit about the travel stuff for the first half, and pretty soon I'm gonna eat my I've got a special tonight. Not pork pies on the menu, something a bit hotter tonight. Right in the mood for it. I can't bloody wait for them. What I'm going to do is talk a little bit about Roger or Dodge It. Now you remember Roger or Dodge It. Now not everybody likes it. Some people think, "What the hell are you doing that for?" But it goes down well with a lot of people, and I've had a bit of feedback. It's a bit of rubbish, a bit of silliness, but if it puts a smile on your face, so that's coming up soon. But pretty soon, pretty soon, I'm going to talk about a song. Now, I was doing this overrated section a few weeks ago, sporadically, but it kind of went down well. It got quite a good response. I mentioned, various things that are overrated. One of them was Rumours by Fleetwood Mac, the most overrated album of all time. People like Phil Collins, Eric Clapton, overrated. Jack Daniels, overrated. Now, I've done the most overrated uh, album of all time. But what I haven't done is done the most overrated song of all time. Okay. So a little bit of a question. What is the most overrated recorded song of all time? What do you think it is? Because the one I'm thinking of, the reason I'm thinking this is that the other day on Facebook, I see one of these little posts that you see. What was it again? It was, yeah, it shows an image of a jukebox, and you have one coin left for one last song before you die, or something like that. Which would it be? And it was all the predictable stuff, rock classics and all of this. I love the old rock classics. But this song came out time and time and again. And it just occurred to me that it is the most overrated song in the history of popular music. And the reason that I mention it right now is because it is actually 50 years of age this year. This song comes from 1971. So try and guess what it is, and we'll talk a little bit about it. The most overrated song of all time. And then after that, we'll have a little bit of a laugh with Roger and Dodger. Let's talk a little bit of travel first of all. Who's that? Kip's Guitar. Here in Spain, restaurants are open now. I am subscribed to a channel, a lady who does something in Benidorm. I can't remember what it is, but she does some really, really good stuff about Benidorm. But nothing looks good to me right now. I'm watching YouTube videos from other European countries, from other parts of the world. I'm watching YouTube videos, of course, from Thailand. Nothing looks like it should be. And two of my favourite countries, Cambodia and Vietnam, they're just simply out of the equation now. Vietnam, they're not letting people in. Cambodia's cancelled tourist visas. Philippines, I haven't heard really anything about Philippines, really. I would willingly be in any of those countries right now, given a chance, but it's just not happening. So, we can either be miserable or we can talk a little bit of rubbish to try and cheer ourselves up. Okay. Nicholas Paul Parisia. What's the Vietnam equivalent to Pattaya? There isn't one. There is not one. There isn't really. A place called Nha Trang, and I've done videos on it last year. Was a really, really good place many, many years ago. But it was tipped to be the new Thailand, the new Pattaya and all that. It never happened, because what happened is that, do you remember the time when there was lots of Russians in Pattaya? They went to Nha Trang in Vietnam. I don't know what deal they got with the airlines, but really, Nha Trang in Vietnam is very, very much for Russians, and also it doesn't have the charm of it. It's got a far better beach. Nha Trang Beach is probably more beautiful than Pattaya Beach, but the actual nightlife and all that. Nha Trang is the main beach resort in Vietnam, but it's only really good if you happen to be Russian. And there's a lot of Russian families there as well. It's nothing like Pattaya. Really, really nothing like it. Okay, so what else are we going to do? Let's have a little look. Martin Ryder, Hanoi is good for women. Is it? Well, I've been to Hanoi a couple of times. The first time I did was years ago, and yeah, I did. Absolutely, yeah, I did, man. I did, man. But this the last time I was in Hanoi, I really liked it for other reasons. I stayed in a nice little hotel, was very very close to the old quarter. And I thought the people of Hanoi are very, very different than how I remember them. Like, don't forget, I think the previous time I visited Hanoi before that was about 16 years earlier. And I felt the people there were generally colder than what I'd previously experienced in Saigon. Because obviously the North Vietnamese were the ones who were, originally more hostile to Westerners for, reasons we don't want to talk about. But I found that the attitude in Hanoi this time was far, far friendlier. And I was there for a couple of weeks, and I really liked Hanoi. I didn't bother with too many. I didn't bother with the women. I was having such a good time, wandering around the streets, and it's a good place. The only problem with Hanoi is that the main the main strip in the old court, the nightlife strip, the police come around at 12 o'clock and tell you to drink up and go home, basically. Marinko, thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate that. Big up, Eddie. Great from Germany, Frankfurt. Okay. Germany. The most underrated tourist country in the world that I've ever come across. I mean, Germans right throughout the world, because Germans love to travel. And yeah, I travelled through Germany for about a month a couple of years back. And it was one of the best experiences that I've had. I thought the people there were terrific. I love Germany. I went to Frankfurt. Frankfurt, a lot of drunks around the streets in Frankfurt. It's quite well known for that. I think Frankfurt's either known for being a business centre of Europe, or it's known for a lot of drunken people around the streets. But I liked it. And I'll tell you what's good in Frankfurt. They've got a huge Irish pub opposite the central station. And that Irish pub is such a good laugh. The people that you meet there are terrific. I really like Frankfurt. I also like Hamburg, and I like Berlin and Munich as well. Germany is cool. Thank you for that super chat anyway, mate. Francesca, let me try and pronounce your name. Your photograph is lovely. Sapa up North Vietnam via train was great, plus a great place. I never went to Sapa. I think Hanoi was the furthest north that I actually went. I've never went to Sapa. I've heard various things about it, being, a bit of a tourist. I don't know, but I would love to visit. I'll be back to Vietnam. I think the reason I didn't go to Sapa north, because I think it's a bit colder there, isn't it? But definitely on the menu. Yeah, lovely to hear from you. Paul Moroney, Hoi An is lovely. Hoi An is a lovely, lovely place, beautiful place. But once I've seen it a few times now. Once you've seen it, really, you've seen it, basically. But it's a nice place, definitely. Yeah, Martin Ryder, the Eagles overrated. I like the Eagles. Best lyrics ever. Lion Eyes, Jesus Christ, Desperado, fantastic. Stephen Rowe, Prince, overrated. Okay, we'll do the most overrated song in the world coming up very, very soon. What is the most overrated rock classic of all time? Okay, what is it? Won't go down well with everybody. Jamie M, have you ever flown business class? Not really, no. I fit comfortably into it. What I always do with economy is just make sure that I get an aisle seat. So if I'm going to be sick, then at least I won't have to push back lots of people. As long as I make sure I get an aisle seat, I'm quite comfortable with that. I wouldn't pay 3 or 4 times as much to go business class, because I'm not really that enthusiastic about airplanes. Airplanes are something that I just want to get. I just want to get on there, and then I just want to close my eyes for as much as I can, and then get off at the other end. I don't really... airplanes look like marvelous feats of technology and all the rest of it. They look great from the outside. But when I'm inside one, I just want that 12 hours or 11 hours or whatever it is to pass. You know what I mean? So, no, not for me. I wouldn't. For all the money, the extra money that I would spend on business class, I mean, I could probably have a lot more fun in Pattaya for that money. Let's see. New York native. I'm headed to quarantine in Thailand in 3 weeks. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Best of luck to you. Well, there probably is fun to be had in places like Pattaya and Bangkok, but it's not what it should be. But I'm really interested in hearing Anthony Johnson's reports. I'm so rooting for him. I really hope that he's going to have a great time there. And if he's having such a great time, I'm going to be very envious. I wish it was me. Paul Hoskin, I miss eating those family-sized crisps at the bar bay and watching, I think you mean the beer bar, watching those Thai girls who asked me if they could have some. Oh, I'm sure they'll get some from you, mate. German goo girls, PAL 555. Think about Germany. How was the women's situation in Germany? Well, actually, in Berlin, it's actually very relaxed. And I met a couple of lovely ladies in Berlin. What I found with Hamburg, you've got the famous Reeperbahn, but it's a bit expensive, and also there's a lot of freelancers. If ever you go to that St. Pauli's area in Hamburg, there's a lot of freelancers around that St. Pauli area, and some of them are lovely looking girls, and they will approach you. But I've heard from people that they will bloody, they are not telling you the truth. They'll say they'll do this and that field, but I've found that a lot of other freelance girls are really fine, but those ones in Hamburg, watch out for them. You're more likely to end up in a bloody tourist trap there. Not good, not good at all. Kip's guitar, yeah, Germany is a great country. Okay, David Kane, Eddie, give us a clue about the song. Okay, I will do. Okay, I'll give you the clue about the song. I didn't actually make a photograph, but okay. So a song, no one's guessed it. What song came out in 1971? No one's got it. Which is regarded as possibly the greatest rock classic of all time. Of all time. Let me see if I got anything, little document here of it. And I seen it on this list the other day. And I just thought, geez, it's just so overrated. It's so overrated. Okay. Any suggestions? Any suggestions? No. Hey Jose, Stairway to Heaven. Okay, you've got it. I mean, this song, Stairway to Heaven, came out in 1971 on Led Zeppelin's fourth album. Now, don't think for 1 minute that I'm suggesting that Led Zeppelin is overrated. Don't think that. Led Zeppelin were the most fantastic progressive rock band of all time, along with the Pink Floyd. Absolutely amazing band. But I think that particular song is just so overrated. It has not stood the test of time at all. And really, I must admit, I cringe when I see it appearing on pulls. If I had one last coin, to put in a jukebox to hear it, that will be the song. I just think it is an outrageously overrated song. Am I causing offence to people by now? Am I causing offence to people? No one else has mentioned it. Hey Jose got it. Anyway, Stairway to Heaven is the one that I'm thinking of, because I've heard so much stuff about this and its inflated legendary reputation. I believe on Radio 1 in the 70s, it was the most requested song of all time when people wanted to request this, because you didn't really hear much Led Zeppelin on ordinary radio, and in those days it seemed to be very much underground music. It didn't get that much radio play in England, not really. But when I first heard that song in the 1970s, probably the mid-70s when I first heard it, I was blown away by it. I thought, amazing. That song is the most unbelievable song of all time. The actual structure of it was what struck me. It's an 8-minute song. It begins in this mellow, acoustic way, and then goes on and on in a really fantastic way. And then eventually Jimmy Page comes along with his fabulous electric guitar and just takes you to heaven. His guitar just really takes you to heaven. Absolutely amazing. And I heard that song, I thought, oh my God, that has converted me to Led Zeppelin. That is such a wonderful song. And yet it is one of those songs that has been overplayed and overplayed and overplayed. And I think its reputation has exceeded it, really, because it may have seemed a really great song then, simply because it wasn't something that you heard every day. But I don't think it stands the test of time nowadays. There's another song, the Eagles' Hotel California, is one of the greatest records ever. The reason I hate hearing it is not because I think it's overrated. It's not overrated at all. It's wonderful, but it's just been played to death, absolutely played to death. Hotel California. Somebody mentioned in the comments of one of my videos that when he went to Thailand, and he went in so many bars, he started thinking that Hotel California was the Thai national anthem. I mean, every live band seemed to play that song. But we're talking about Stairway to Heaven. I mean, what is that song all about? You know, it's such an overrated song. I mean, does anybody actually know? Does anybody actually know what that song is all about? There's various things of what it's all around. How about this? What does the two mean, the Stairway to Heaven? Well, it says here, and you can get this on Wikipedia, this song is basically just about shallow materialism and greed. Robert Plant claimed that it was about a woman getting everything she wanted without giving anything back. Oh, so it is relevant after all. Yeah, nothing's bloody changed, has it? Yeah, no, that does sound fairly relevant, that is, yeah. Okay, and other people think it's about, it's about naughty substances and all this kind of stuff. But whatever it's about, some of the lyrics are so bloody obscure in that. It's like as if the lyrics are stuff that you will read in English literature on a 17th century or 18th century poem by a dead poet, obviously a dead poet that people have forgotten about. Some of those lyrics are just, just a little bit cringe-making. I think I'm right in saying that the lead singer of Jethro Tull, Ian Anderson, he loved Led Zeppelin. He thought Led Zeppelin a fantastic band, but he thought the lyrics were really, the music was fantastic, but the lyrics were really stock lyrics, and it seemed that's the way it seems to me. I mean, the lyrics, who can really relate to a song like that in this day and age? I mean, if it's about a woman getting everything she wanted without giving anything back, yeah, I can relate to that, absolutely, and that is still entirely relevant, of course. But overall, that is one song, whenever I hear it, I just think to myself, it doesn't deserve that amazing reputation. When I first heard it in the 70s, the first few times that I heard it, they're fantastic. Now I hear that song, and it's not as if I want to stand to attention whenever I hear that song. It's more a case of, oh Christ, not this again. Other songs from that era, other rock classics have stood the test of the time. Even songs like Boston's More Than a Feeling. I mean, whenever I hear a song like that, it is so rising and Jesus and so up-tempo. I just want to, whenever I hear that song, I want to get out of my chair and dance. And believe me, you don't want to see that. But Stairway to Heaven, as far as I know it's sacrilege. Some people would say it's sacrilege to actually criticise that song. But I would actually say that it is the most overrated song of all time. The sad thing is that if anyone is not familiar with Led Zeppelin, do not, and maybe that's the only song by Zeppelin that they've ever heard, do not think that's representative. Zeppelin have made far, far, far better songs than that. Far better songs. So go check out Led Zeppelin. But that one, overrated. Overrated. Okay, so let's see. Paul Hoskin, ABBA, gimme, 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 a Thai girl after midnight. Okay. Graham Johnson, surely it's a whole lot of loving. Whole lot of love. That was, magnificent. That's a little bit dated and all. It's like screams and all that. But a whole lot of love and Stairway to Heaven were Led Zeppelin's two great anthems. Whole lot of love I can still listen to. But Stairway to Heaven, I think, no, not for me. Bloody boring. Wendy Miller, God Save the Queen's the most Thailand Bound. Do you remember that song, Gordon is a Moron? What an awful song. Well, it probably was an awful song, but isn't it funny that about 40 odd years later you still remember it? Some awful things is still worth remembering. Okay. Roy, the pies are burning. You are quite right, mate. You are quite right. Thailand Bound, American Pie, Don McLean, worst record ever made. That's another obscure one. It's supposed to be all Buddy Holly. That's another one of those songs that you listen to and other people tell you it's a great song and you think, yeah, but what's it all about? Does anyone really know? To be fair, there are other songs from the past, maybe in the 60s and 70s, still classic songs, absolutely. But you still think what's it all about? What's House in the Rising Sun all about? What is A Whiter Shade of Pale? Does anyone really, really know? What's Stairway to Heaven all about? I mean, it's you know, it's someone mentioned the Eagles before, but at least the Eagles wrote songs that you knew what they were about. You know, great best lyrics around. Okay, okay. Now it's time to get some. What else in the Rising Sun? How's the Thailand Banner? How's the Rising Sun is about a prison? Oh, I never really thought of it that way. I thought it was about a dysfunctional family, basically. It's how you interpret stuff. You know what I mean? But I can listen to the House of the Rising Sun now and think, yes. I hear Stairway to Heaven. I think, oh Christ, no, no, this is going to last for 8 bloody minutes. This bloody thing. Anyway, I'm going to take a tiny little 1 minute break. I'm going to grab some pies and another bit of booze, and then I will return with Roger and Dodger. Roger and Dodger. See you in a minute. Oh, I've only got one speckled end left. Don't worry, there's plenty more other stuff there. Okay, so let's see, 399 in the chat. Ian Bowden, that ain't no Todd, it's Eddie's knee bender when he goes down on Ting Tong. Okay, Leonard Watson, you need to oil your door hinges. No, far from it. What I've sussed out is that squeaky door has become a little minor celebrity in its own right. You know, the little squeaky door. I'm sure there's some people who watch this each week just to hear the squeaky door. Let it squeak forever. Okay, so let's see. What have we got now? Right now, put a bit of salt on these. There are no pork pies this week. I decided for something a little teensy-weensy bit hot. So I'll just put these in the oven. And what have we got here? Oh, they're feeling nice. How about this? How about this for an evening snack? A Cornish pasty, hot from the oven, and a sausage roll. The perfect late night snack, other than pork pies, but they're a little bit cold right now. So I can't wait to actually sample this. Oh, that's bloody good. That is lovely. That was terrific. That Cornish pasty. That Cornish pasty comes from Sainsbury's, okay? You get 4 in a pack. I think it's about £2.50, something like that for 4. That is wonderful. Do you know something? You know when I had that love in the afternoon in Soi 6? It's a pity that I didn't have something like this afterwards, and then I wouldn't have ended up walking back to my hotel in a bad mood. Jesus. Oh. Sainsbury's Cornish pasty. Love, oh, that was to die for. Watch it down with a little bit of this. We'll be back with you in a minute. What are we going to talk about now? Wendy Miller. Any song by Jonathan King is overrated. Ugh. Jonathan King was a very, very clever businessman. You know, he was supposed to have discovered Genesis and 10cc, all those wonderful bands, but, you know, less said about him, the better. Let's see what's going on there. Liam, time of the night when he makes us all hungry. Well, Liam, you know, everyone should have a late night snack. Everyone has the right to have a beer and a late night snack. But I'm starting to rate these Sainsbury's Corners pasties very, very highly. I'm going to take another bite and then we're going to talk about something else. Oh, that is... You don't realise how hungry you are, do you? When did I last eat? Magnificent. If I don't eat the rest of that, then I will. If I don't eat the rest, of it, then I will. You know, I'll heat it up in the oven. Okay, it's time for a bit of fun. Okay, it's time for a bit of fun. It's time to play. Now I know that this isn't relevant to travel. We talked about travel. It's doom and it's all bloody doom and gloom. There's nothing really positive to report right now. So at least it's good to keep us other company on a Wednesday night in miserable lockdown UK, and we can have a bit of fun and smile and whatever. Then all for the good. Okay. So it's time to play Roger or Dodger. Okay, Roger or Dodger. Got a few on the list now. Basically, the premise of Roger or Dodger. What is it? The premise of Roger Dodger is that this fat, ugly, old, middle-aged to old, you know, person with an alcohol problem who likes pork pies and, you know, pasties and other unhealthy food, sits in the chair on a Wednesday night, shows you pictures of some very, very famous women, lots of lovely ladies and some not so lovely, and poses the question, would you Roger this woman? Would you Roger it, as in give it a bloody good Rogering? Or would you say, no, not for me, don't fancy it. You can have that one. Okay, so but this is the premise of Roger or Dodger. Yes? Let's see. Doesn't appeal to everyone, but some people think it's a good bit of fun. So why the hell not? What else are we going to do on a Wednesday night? I tell you what, if we can think of anything to talk about in these dreadful circumstances, then we're doing well. Okay, we're doing well. Okay, so what's on the menu with Roger and Dodger? Okay, now last week I ignominiously overlooked somebody from the letter B. Okay, I ignominiously overlooked somebody, so I'm not going to overlook it this time anyway. This lady here instantly gets a 10. She gets a 10 simply for looking like that. You see her on the beach and you think, whoa, she's a 10. But I wouldn't do what little Dudley Moore done. He sort of pursued her, stalked her, didn't he? And was eventually disillusioned. But anyway, here she is. Here's a picture of this gorgeous, gorgeous lady. The beautiful, sensational, oh my God almighty, just look at her. The wonderful, lovely Bo Derek. Gorgeous woman. Yeah, she's definitely a 10. She's definitely a 10. So what do you think of Bo Derek then? What do you think of Bo Derek? Okay. Let's see. Nobody Bodger and Scarpa? No, nobody Roger Bo Derek? Well, I would. Yeah, but let's see. Okay. There's not an awful lot of chat that I missed out on. Okay, so basically that movie 10 came out in 1980. Jesus Christ, that's 41 years ago. Doesn't time fly? Basically what it is about Dudley Moore, who's now deceased. He was a nice little comedian, not to my taste, but he was all right. Dudley Moore plays this successful musician who finds that by the age of 40, you know, he's losing his sexuality, although he thinks he hasn't lost it yet. But basically what it is, he sees this gorgeous woman. She's this gorgeous. Oh, Jesus, she was truly gorgeous. Just look at her there. Is she beautiful there? Oh, she's beautiful. Beautiful woman. Even later in life, she was absolutely a stunner. Dudley Moore sees this woman, I think and he tries to, pursue her, like, because obviously he's driven by lust and all that. But when he finally gets there, he finds that it's disillusioning. And he realizes at 40 years of age, he's losing his sexuality. Strange. I think at 40 years of age, I think I was just discovering mine. I mean, it was like that's it when I started traveling to Southeast Asia. I think it was like a second youth. I had an early youth, when I had me fun with the girls and all this kind of stuff. But then, you go to that bad patch in your life, and then by 40, I was ready to head out to Southeast Asia and start acting like a young man about town once again. But Dudley, yeah, I suppose it happens. Yeah, absolutely. How can Bo Derek? And here's a picture of her when she's getting on a bit, because she's about 64 now, but she's still a fine-looking woman, still a lovely woman. She's aged well. Okay. Bo Derek definitely gets a Roger, an absolute unequivocal Roger. I seen her years later on an interview, and she's a damn fine-looking woman. Okay. So anyway. Everyone's Roger, and everyone's put. Bo Derek gets a massive Roger, okay? I'm gonna have a little bit more of my Cornish pasty because I'm so hungry. It's lovely stuff. Beautiful. Okay. Who said that? K-Ed67. I'm not fussed about Bo Derek. Lovely looking, but no sex appeal. Oh, I don't know about that, mate. Well, I think he's got tons of sex appeal. I think he's got tons of sex appeal. Okay. Now, the next one, I like the Bond movies. Okay. I love the Bond movies. And last week we had Caroline Munro. Yeah. I mentioned Caroline Munro. Beautiful, beautiful Bond girl. I was at The Spy Who Loved Me. And I suggested that, she's my favourite Bond girl. But somebody mentioned that I ignominiously, and there's a word for it, ignominiously overlooked one of the sexiest Bond girls of all time. It was beautiful, sexiest Bond girls. You're quite right. This is from a movie called The Man with the Golden... Well, I'm not so sure this is actually a movie, but it is, of course, the beautiful, absolutely stunning Britt Eklund. Wow, gorgeous. Beautiful Swedish blonde. I think she was Swedish, wasn't she? Absolutely wonderful Swedish. But there's another pic. Oh my God almighty. Absolutely. Is that a Roger or a Dodger? Is Britt Eklund a Roger or a Dodger? Wasn't that lovely? Girls didn't have tattoos in those days. Absolutely fantastic. So basically, Britt Eklund played, what was it? I can't remember it. Miss Goodnight, was it in The Man with the Golden Gun? Now, if ever you visit, do a tour of what was it, PP Island in that area, you may well visit James Bond Island. That is the film that she was in. It's called The Man with the Golden Gun. And I was on a tour bus, and they show you that movie on the tour bus. And by the way, her name is Britt with 2 T's. Yeah, okay, she's got 2 T's. And very, very nice there, actually. I've seen them in a couple of movies. Yes, she was married to Peter Sellers. He was much older than her in the 60s. And obviously, maybe she got a little bit more famous by being married to Peter Sellers. But I do seem to recall that she said that Peter Sellers was not a full shilling, not a full shilling. Yes, he died quite young. I mean, he was only in his early 50s, wasn't he? He's younger than me when he dropped dead. But what another thing, she was in a lot of good movies in the early 70s. What was it? There was The Man with the Golden Gun, Get Carter. She played a bit part in that marvelous movie. But another one that's well worth seeing if you want to see Britt naked, then a cracking movie to watch is called The Wicker Man. That is The Wicker Man. There's not the dreadful bloody remake many years later with Nicolas Cage, but she plays the landlord's daughter in The Wicker Man, and she dances around the room with not wearing not a great deal of clothing, and she's absolutely stunning. I think she tries to attempt to put on a Scottish accent in that movie. But yeah, definitely Britt Eklund, absolutely. She's in a lot of things early on, and she would definitely get a Roger from me. Okay, Who's this? Who's making vulgar? Yeah, no, Healing Cove. Someone has said Healing Cove is saying too much age cap inappropriate, right? Okay, between then and now. But someone else, Tampa guy, saying Jane Seymour definitely a major Roger. Well, she was another Bond girl. She's probably about a similar age to Britt Eklund. You can't please everyone. The thing about Britt Eklund, when did she start to be, get a bit irritating in the media? She started a relationship with Rod Stewart, Rod the Sod, as he became known. Now, I remember when I was a kid, Burton and Taylor, that annoying bloody married couple, were always in the news. He bought her a new wedding ring, whatever, and he got remarried, and Christ knows what else. And they were always annoying every time. When I was a kid watching this crap on news at 10, what do you want to know this one? But it seemed by the mid-70s, Rod and Britt actually overtook them in the media, and Rod and Britt became the golden couple at the paparazzi. They were always in the news. But she's a really great looking girl, lovely, sexy blonde. Got a bit of fun about it as well. Okay, we'll show you the final picture of Britt Eklund before we move on. She's definitely a Roger for me, absolutely a Roger. And just look at that. Come on, she's absolutely gorgeous. Jesus, that's how women should look, not the abomination that we often see nowadays. Tampa Guy, the remake with Nicolas Cage is rubbish. It's cartoonish. I didn't like it. I can't remember. I watched the remake once. I wouldn't bother watching it again. But the first Wicker Man movie, it was regarded as a cult, a cult movie. But then it became, a bit of a classic. You know what I mean? Well, I've been called a bit of a cult, at various times. Well, it sounds something like that anyway. Okay, let's see. Catch Bay, Mr. Catch Bay. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Yesterday, I made my plan. Let's see if I can do it. I hope that I can go back at early March and come back just before June. I can work at the ASK. You're talking about March next month? Well, I certainly hope you can. One of the guys who appears on this live stream, he's just come out of quarantine, his ASQ in Bangkok yesterday, and today he's booked his taxi and he's hitting the streets of Pattaya, and I envy him. I wish it was me. I wish it was me. I wish it was me. Thanks for that super chat anyway, mate. Thanks for that super chat. Okay, let me see now. Okay, Roger and Dodger. Who's up next on Roger and Dodger? Okay, let's see. Got a little bit of a swig. Have I got any beer left there? Where's my beer? It's gone down there. I'm gonna put an old favourite. And bloody Cornish pasties are lovely. I'm waffling too much. I'll probably heat them up in the oven later. Lovely stuff. Sainsbury's, £2.50. Highly. It's funny how the cheapest stuff that you can get from supermarkets is often the tastiest. Wow. The return of an old favourite. No, not dry black though. That's just a glass. Speckleton with a head on it. Oh, I do like a nice bit of head. Okay, let's just bung that down there. So let's see. Still got plenty of people in the chat. Eva Green, Jonathan Steele, Eva Green and Casino Royale is out of me. Okay, let's go on to just going to waffle on. This is all a bit of rubbish, but if it puts a smile on people's face, at the end of the day, we've got something to talk about. I've seen plenty of live streams where there's a bunch of people on the live stream and they've got nothing to talk about. At least we've got something to talk about now. Even if I'm talking bollocks, and that's not unusual for me, at least we've got something to talk about, okay? It's Wednesday night. Amongst all this misery, let's be cheerful. So who is next on the list of Roger or Dodger? Okay, it's the letter D. It's I done B last week and C, but then I went back to do a couple more B's. Okay, but we're on to the letter D now. And what is D for? D is for Dolly. D is for Dolly. Oh my God Almighty! Be careful; she'll have someone's eye out with those. Okay. Now, what do you think of Dolly Parton? What do you think of Dolly Parton? Ernest Connell, thank you for that super chat. And now he's mentioning Bridget Bardot. People keep saying I'm mentioning these old ladies. Bridget Bardot's older than any of them. You know, a lot of my subscribers here, the people who watch this channel, are similar age to me. Bridget Bardot, absolutely fantastic with you, mate. Absolutely. And thanks for that super chat as well, Ernest. Okay, so come on, let's. What do we think? What Roger? The Rogers have it. The Rogers are having it. Paul Hoskin, I would Roger both of them. Yeah, absolutely. With your Subway, with your 12-inch Subway, presumably, you'd like to Roger Dolly Parton's both of them. Okay. Dodger, right. Well, as far as I'm concerned, a little bit of a mixed reaction. Dolly is well past it now. Well, she's well past. I'm going to show you the picture when she was younger. There you go. When she's a bit younger, I don't know how old she is there. That's sort of the middle years. She's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous woman. Now, I seen an interview with Dolly Parton last week, and she's a lovely, lovely person, as well as being amazingly talented. She writes her songs. She's got a beautiful voice. She is a total icon. I mean, her look, her assets, absolutely everything about Dolly Parton. You know, she's a total asset. You know, I mean, but the thing is, it's her name and what she stands for. I must admit, when I first seen her on the TV singing in the 1970s, the first thing I noticed was them. Yeah, I noticed them first of all. And I think that's what most people notice. But her name is synonymous with, you know, having big titties. You know what I mean? Which is okay. That's fun. I mean, have you never ever met a girl and, you know, she's got an enormous knock, hasn't you? Thought, oh my God, Dolly Parton. It's the first thing that comes to mind. I've done that. I've met girls who I've nicknamed Dolly Parton. You know what I mean? In a respectful way. Another picture of Dolly there. She's a real hot chick. Obviously, she's getting on a bit now. But what I like about her is that she's not pretentious at all. In this interview I seen like last week, somebody asked her, you know, how long does it take to make yourself up of a daytime? What's it okay? She said, not really. You know, I wear wigs, so I just grab a wig, basically. You know, she's not pretentious at all. But she's an amazing entertainer, and she's probably a wonderful, wonderful personality, hugely talented, and obviously she's getting on a bit now, but in her younger days, I would well and truly give her a Roger. She would definitely be on my Roger list, absolutely. Dolly Parton is an icon. Absolutely fantastic. I love Dolly Parton. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, some people here have said I'm choosing ladies who are far too old, and then somebody else has mentioned Bridget Bardot, and someone else has mentioned Doris Day, and these are well older than the women that I'm putting on here. Absolutely. Let's see. Travel Snob. Travel Snob, you used to get dirty massages, and now you're showing us pictures of 20-stone women. Well, the first bit's true. The first bit's true. They said, no, I haven't shown 20-stone women. But you're right, mate, I have. I've really gone downhill, haven't I? I've really gone downhill. Woe is me. Well, at least I've still got speckled hen. Okay. Let's see. Robin Hood, she's got a great pair of personalities. Okay, so we're going to move on now. It's an hour and 13, and in the chat, there's not much happening in the travel situation right now. Nothing really to be totally positive about. No real exciting developments. So we may as well talk a bit of rubbish, okay? Now, tell me who this lady is here. This lady, and whether she comes on your Roger or Dodger list. Oh, this is a younger one. Keep people happy, okay? Who is this? Who is that? Who's a famous lady? I don't think you'd hear too much of her now. Who is that? Robin Hood's got it. He's got Dido, okay? Now, this is actually Dido, okay? Now, I seem to have missed Dido. She was a hugely successful singer around about the early 2000s and whatever. Hugely successful singer. But I seem to have missed her because during that time, for those many years, the 90s to the early 2000s, I missed everything that was happening in the media, because I was working so many goddamn hours in those days. I never had time to watch TV or read. I think I read one newspaper a week. I never even took interest in anything in the media. So I don't really know too much about Dido. I've heard some of her songs, and she seems to be quite a nice singer. But does she come on the Roger list? There's another picture of her there, looking a little bit more colourful and grungy. Is it? Well, that's what you think. Now, somebody's put. Now you're thinking the same way as me. Someone's put a cute girl, Ian Bowden, girl next door face. Okay. Okay, someone else. Okay, someone else. Girl, yeah, a couple of people have said girl next door. Now that's exactly what I'm thinking as well. She is like this. She is like that. She's sort of nice, isn't she? She's not really sexy. She's nice. Probably a very, very nice person. But is she really the type that, when you see you would think, oh, I'd love to Roger that? Well, not really. I'd say what she looks like to me, looking at those pictures. She looks like the kind of nurse that you would like to have. If ever you fall sick and, was dying in a hospital bed, you would want, nurses to cheer you up and be nice to you and have a friendly face that you could trust. You wouldn't be after anything sexy. But no, I wouldn't be. Not in that bloody circumstance. I wouldn't. But you would like someone with a nice, friendly, trustworthy face. And I must say about her, she does have a really nice, I don't know, she just has like a nurse's face. The kind of nurse that you would want if he was, if he was in a hospital bed. But I think to actually, look at her and think, it's a good-looking girl, but she's sexy in any way. I mean, it's not really. I can't really say. Nice person. Type of person you'd like to know. Type of person you like living next door to you. But I think I don't know. I think I'd have to dodge that one personally. I'd have to dodge that one. Let's see. Paul Conlon, maybe marriage material. Yeah, probably. You're probably right. There's some girls you'd like to Roger and some you'd like to marry. Yeah, probably. You're probably right there. David Major, wet nurse. Thailand bound. Just to say, is it a nurse? If it empty your tanks, okay. Crypto Ken, you could see my neighbour. You would run a mile. Okay, well that sounds good. Sounds like fun. Okay, now people are suggesting names. Some people think, what the hell is he doing this project? There's a lot of people who respond well to it. A lot of people are having a bit of fun here. It's Wednesday night. It's harmless. We're not really offending anybody. So, I mean, what else is there? Has anything good on Netflix? No, I haven't seen anything. Okay, so anyway, now this is a famous woman. Somebody mentioned this to me. How many more have we got, by the way? How many more have we got? Okay, this is a famous woman. This is an older photograph of her. Who is that? Roger or Dodger? It's Demi Moore. Yes? Demi Moore, Roger or Dodger. Now, Demi Moore was quite a hugely successful actress, wasn't she, in the 90s? I think she was one of those, did they call them the Brat Pack? Those younger group of actors who came up in the late 80s or whatever. She come up in the late 80s. But do you find Demi Moore? Apparently, she was got quite well known to being in some really, really raunchy movies where she wasn't wearing a great deal of clothes. But I don't know. Is that really the kind of woman you would look at? I don't think she's sexy. Not really. I don't think she's anything really special. I don't really think she's got that much charisma, personally. I don't know about her acting quality. She might be a good actress. I haven't seen her in that many movies. The one that she done a film, didn't she, called Striptease, and it was really outrageous. And to be perfectly honest, I think if I was going to watch a striptease, I'd want something a bit hotter than Demi Moore. I mean, I'm sure probably a nice woman. Someone would Roger. The Rogers are coming up. The Rogers are coming. Demi Moore is getting a lot of Rogers. There's a lot of people out there who are Roger Demi Moore. Good for you, man. Good for you. Good for you. Okay, just because it's not necessarily my taste. Just because it's not necessarily my taste doesn't mean to say that it's not other people's taste. This is a movie of Demi Moore, and I think the most famous movie that she was in, the one that I seen anyway, is that film called Ghost. She looks sort of boyish there. She looks, you'd question that one. Is she really? She's not a lady boy. Is she? Doesn't really do anything for me personally. As for that film Ghost, well, that was a hugely successful film, wasn't it? Some people said it was a really great film, so that it was a very, very silly film. I think it was one of those movies where you could watch it very late on the TV at night when you've had a few beers down you and you don't want anything too intelligent. I like to watch some movies like that. Late at night when I'm pissed, I don't really watch intelligent movies. I want something that's a bit brain dead. And I think that film Ghost was very, very brain dead movie. Not a bad movie, a watchable movie, but doesn't exactly require a lot of brain cells. And I kind of liked it for that reason. So anyway, what do you think about Demi Moore? A lot of Rogers for Demi Moore. A lot of guys out there with Roger Demi Moore. Okay, but not for me. Not for me. Not my taste at all, really. I think I'd have to dodge that one. Okay, I'm going to get on to the next one. Okay, I think we're going to go for about another 10 minutes now. Another 10 minutes, and who? Jesus, this one looks like a bloody sour-faced newsreader. She looks like somebody who's reading you some very, very bad news. Oh no. And another, probably an Oscar-winning actress, probably very, very talented. But not for me. Not for me. Anyone like that one? Anyone like that one? Oh, Jesus. Oh God, she looks like the stern school headmistress, doesn't she? The teacher you wouldn't want to mess with. Oh, God, no. God, no. There's another picture over there. She's looking a bit brighter there. It is, of course, the very, very talented Emma Thompson. Okay, so the question is, Emma Thompson, Roger or Dodger? Anyone? Okay, what was it? I've lost the chat here. There's been some chat. Vanessa Phelps, who's this? I don't think has anyone actually got the name of that? It is actually Emma Thompson, the actress, and she was quite a well-known actress. She's won Oscars and various other things, but I think she makes the kind of movies that I wouldn't want to watch. I think it's those Merchant Ivory movies. What does someone call them? The Laura Ashley School of Filmmaking. Those kind of snobby movies where Anthony Hopkins plays the butler, and they have all those, what do they call them, those lovies. I think Emma Thompson became well-known, and she was part of that lovey set, wasn't she? I think she was married to Kenneth Branagh, who I didn't think was very talented. Jesus, he was an actor and director and whatever. I didn't think he was very talented, but he made a sort of a lovey couple until they fell out. And I think, I think they sort of fell out, and I'm pretty sure, didn't she end up with one of those, long-haired, sort of Latino lovers or something like that. Anyway. Let's see. No, I don't know if anyone's actually recognised Emma Thompson there. Now, Emma Thompson is younger than some of the other ones. Yeah, does. Yeah, I think plenty of people there. Robin, what movie is she in again? She's in some of those. I can't even think of the name of a famous movie that she's in, but it's those. If you Google Merchant Ivory, there's this team of people who make these kind of movies about aristocrats and rich young people set about 100 years ago, and and all this kind of stuff. Those kind of movies appeal to more snobby people. It's that kind of upper class sort of entertainment. I wouldn't. She seemed to be suited to those sorts of films, but I wouldn't rate it. I wouldn't want to watch any of them. They call them the Laura Ashley School of Filmmaking. So Emma Thompson, Roger or Dodger? Someone said good actress. She probably is. Someone said snooty. Yeah. Spy and Mash Rogers and tell you're going to get a news by the morning. Okay. No. I think there's somebody's mentioned. Samuel Hudson's mentioned Helen Mirren back in the day. Now Helen Mirren may well have been in movies like that. She would have fitted well into movies like that. But Helen Mirren was a sexy actress. She's definitely Roger, as well as being very talented. She was very, 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 very rogerable. Okay, so what are we going to? I think that one's a dodgy for me. Very, very, very much a dodgy for me. So let's see. There's still 328 in the chat. I did have a lot more than that, but so what? We're waffling on. We're not doing any harm. It's Wednesday night. It's lockdown UK. Everybody's bloody miserable, but I'm not going to be miserable. I am not going to be miserable, okay? Okay, I'm going to do about another 10 minutes of this before I call it a night. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. And I'm going to go out in a style that you will not expect. You are not prepared for this. You are not prepared for this one, okay? Someone's mentioned Susan George. Yeah, she's coming up later. Now, the thing is about why I'm mentioning these women, and some people are saying they're far too old. So no, the picture showing you they're not too old. I'm assuming that a lot of people who watch this sort of stuff are a similar generation to me, you know, in a very, very similar generation to me. So the things I could show you a lot of bang up to date ladies, you know, from the last 5 years, you know, the names of young women who appear in the movies nowadays, except I don't know the names. I don't watch movies nowadays. They're too young. I think it's why I cancelled my Netflix subscription, because all of the things that are on there, they were all like young people who bloody look young enough to be my daughter on there. You know, I don't want to watch stuff like that. They all look like bloody young teenagers on Netflix. I don't want to watch stuff like that. I'm old school. And these are the kind of women that, you know, in the olden days, absolutely, when I was a young man going to the pictures, a young teenager, I would look at her and think, Christ, that's the kind of woman I want to end up with. Where did it ever go wrong? Okay. Let me see. Let's have a little look at the chat. Okay. Right. Okay. Last, but definitely not least, this is a real wild card. I'm going to show you a wild card. Something you are simply, something that will spook you out. You are not prepared for, right? Now, ladies, beautiful, famous ladies, whose name begins with the letter A. I couldn't find too many of them, so I've dug deep into the past. I mean, really, really deep into the past. And the question is, would you roger this lady? Her name. She was very famous in the olden days, in the 1930s. I should say that's extremely old, yeah? Okay, and I don't like talking ill of the dead, so I'm not going to talk ill of the dead. I'm going to say good things about it, okay? But she is the beautiful Elsa Lancaster, okay? The beautiful Elsa Lancaster. Now, can anybody tell me what Elsa Lancaster's most famous part was? Elsa Lancaster, anyone? Played a very, very iconic part. Come on. Poppycorn's got it. She is the one, the only, the beautiful, sexy stunner, the Bride of Frankenstein. Jesus Christ. Now, how about that, eh? Elsa Lancaster, the Bride of Frankenstein. Right? Now, in case you think I'm being crazy, she was actually a lovely looking girl. Weird and wonderful. Just look at that picture there. Jesus Christ, she's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous woman. Now, before I tell you a little bit more about whether we roger Elsa Lancaster, let me tell you that I didn't know this until he says. I probably did know it in years gone by, but I've forgotten a lot of what I know. The Bride of Frankenstein was actually married to none other than the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Did you know that? Did you really know that? You probably didn't know that, maybe because you didn't want to know it. But here is the evidence. Here is the evidence. There you go. Elsa Lancaster was married quite happily for many, many, many years to Charles Laughton. It was also another British actor. It was absolutely wonderful. Jesus, Elsa Lancaster, Bride of Frankenstein, Charles Laughton in The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Those were the days. You know what? I can still watch those movies now and marvel at such imagination, such character and everything. But Jesus Christ, Elsa Lancaster. Do you know something? You can laugh and you can sneer and you can say that I'm crazy. Look, how about that for an iconic picture? You can laugh and say that I'm crazy, but Do you know what? Underneath all of that, she was a damn fine-looking woman, Elsa Lancaster. And if she was around nowadays and seen some of the women nowadays with all the plastic surgery and the silicone boobs and the Botox, and worse than any of that, tattoos. If Elsa Lancaster was down on the beach and see these young girls with tattoos all the way up the legs and their arms and the back, Elsa Lancaster would say they're weird. She'd say they're freaks. That's right. The Bride of Frankenstein would say that the modern woman looks freaky. The Bride of Frankenstein would turn in her bloody grave if she see what some of those women are doing to themselves nowadays. Jesus Christ. Look at her there. Look at her. She's a bloody good-looking woman. She's a good-looking woman. So iconic. So iconic. Absolutely wonderful. That is the one, the only Elsa Lancaster. Okay, give it a closer look over there. And apparently she had a very happy marriage to Charles Lund, except for the fact that he wasn't. Actually, he actually, she alleged in the book that he actually batted for the other side. You know, if you want, you know. But he was a great actor, wonderful, absolutely wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Okay, 212 Roger didn't know that, explains the looks. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, somebody said, Taliban, begin to wonder what yours says. Absolutely, absolutely. You can wonder what it says, but I love Elsa Lancaster as the Bride of Frankenstein so much that when I seen this T-shirt, I could not resist it. This is the Bride of Frankenstein T-shirt that I'm wearing. How about that, eh? How about that? There you go. I couldn't resist getting myself an Elsa Lancaster T-shirt. It moves as well. It's alive. It's alive. Okay. Yeah. Okay. He's got it. He just took the words out of my mouth. As is, you're crazy, Eddie. That is right. Let's be bloody crazy. Okay. It's miserable. It's February. It's depression. We can't go anywhere. We don't really know we can make any plans this year for travel. I'm going crazy. You know, I'm living in a goldfish bowl. But for Christ's sake, let's be a bit crazy. Let's laugh about it at the end of the day, okay? Let's laugh about it at the end of the day. So listen, I'm gonna. Yeah, where's the comment? You've been cooped up too long, Eddie. You're damn right. You took the words out of my mouth, mate. Ian Barton, oh my God, looks like my missus. Poppycorn looks like Maggie Thatcher. Jesus, she's more frightening than the Bride of Frankenstein. Okay. Paul Hoss, I would love an Ed Sweeney T-shirt. Okay, I'll stick my fingers in the plug socket, and then I'll have freaky hair. Protectors of Soi 6. You've had too much tonight. You can never have too much. El McPherson in the body. See, I missed out on that. Well, you know, they catch you up on a few of these things anyway. Okay. So listen, I'm going to wrap that up there anyway. Okay, no, it's not been the most, probably not being the most intelligent live stream, but if there is ever an intelligent live stream. We're locked up, we're locked down, you know, lock this, that, and the other. We don't know when we're going to travel. I'd love to be making plans. My plan is that hopefully, and it's impossible to make plans. It's simply impossible to make plans. But hopefully, if the wind is in the right direction, I will be heading off to sunny climates at the beginning of May. If I think that is feasible and I can overcome all the hurdles that are there to be, but a lot of people, we're all in the same boat at the end of the day. Listen, I will say thank you for tuning in. I will say good night. Thank you. We've had a good time. It's been a colourful live stream. I've talked about negativity. I've talked about, the possibility of if things would get worse. We could have a 21-day quarantine when we go to a place like Thailand. You'd never ever know what's going to happen next. I've insulted the most celebrated rock classic of all time. And I know a lot of people are going to say, that's sacrilege, you can't do that. And to top all of that, I have even admitted on this live stream here that I have the hots for the Bride of Frankenstein. Now, come on, where else are you going to get that on a Wednesday night in February? Okay? Thank you, guys. I'll see you all next week. Thanks for your company. Thanks for the super chat. Keep thinking positive. Peace, love, and goodwill to everybody. It's really lovely having you all along. Still plenty of chats there. Still plenty of chats. Absolutely. Someone said, thank you, Alan Brudnell. Night, it was a laugh, mate, and we all need that. Thank you. Best comment, anyway. Thank you, Alan. Cheers to everyone. I'll see you next week.